My first guests are Lindsay Santoro and Michael Crump, two stand-up comedians who are going to be performing at this year's Birmingham's Comedy Festival. Welcome, guys. Laughing already. It's going to... We haven't started yet and we're laughing. Lindsay, welcome to the show. And Mike as well. I can call you Mike?
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, call me what you want.
Just one for most things.
So, guys, this is a fantastic opportunity. Have you done anything like this before? Lindsay, I'm going to ask you first.
I was part last year, the Birmingham Comedy Festival. I was actually in the Breaking Talent, what's it, Breakthrough Talent? I don't remember what it's called.
Yes.
Breaking Talent Award.
Yes.
It's at the Glee Club, it's like the opening night.
Yes.
And they get all the new comedians that they think are up and coming in this showcase, and then they pick a winner. It's quite good, actually.
Smash it day, mate.
I had a great time.
Did you?
Didn't win, though.
Oh.
Should have won.
You got him up though.
I did, I stole it.
Stole it off the winner.
And Mike, how about you?
Have I done stand-up before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You've been doing it for how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Started in February 2013. Is that 2.5 years?
Yeah.
That isn't it?
Yeah. And do you enjoy it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? It's good fun. Meet some
And
crazy
have you
people.
worked together? Is this the first time you're going to be working together, or have you worked together before?
We've gigged together, but we've never done a show
Yeah,
together.
no, we've not done a... No. We've never gigged together.
We have.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've repressed that memory. It was horrible.
I lap danced your husband, didn't I? Too big spender.
Vile.
He loved it.
So what kind of
I got his number. Spoke to him on Grindr. Carry on.
what kind of comedy do you do? Do you interact with the audience, or are you one-liners? Tell us about it, Mike.
My kind of stuff that I do is very interactive. I like to talk to the audience. I like to sit on people's laps and kind of make fun and just have a laugh.
Yeah.
Really, it's not very structured.
But do you find that when you're up there with the audience, do you find it just goes with the flow, depending on the audience?
Yes.
You know,
If
depends
the
on
audience
how
are
they
up for it,
react.
yeah.
Yes. And have you ever had an audience that doesn't react with you?
Yes. Yeah, the best kind of audiences are kind of rough audiences, especially because I can be quite camp. They kind of react really well to that. But the kind of
What do you mean by rough?
if I'm gigging in my hometown,
Yes.
like Blackheath, Cradley Heath, that kind of way, it's more fun because it's like breaking stereotypes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And how about for you, Lindsay?
What was the question? I zoned out. Sorry.
Does she do that when we talk? How about for you? When you're with the audience, what's your comedy show like?
I just tell little stories about what's happened to me, and generally it's just horrible little events, because I have quite not a cursed life, but if you put me in a situation where something can go horribly wrong, I'm almost like.
What about your husband, like in the bath with your husband? What about that one?
That was terrible. We can't say it on the TV because people will cry.
Can you tell us another one? Tell us another one.
There was a time I went into my kitchen and there was a rat in there, and I managed to catch it in a bin, and then I sat on the bin for about 3 hours and cried. That was one of them. Yeah.
I won't even ask. What happened at the end of the 3 hours?
Well,
Were you rescued?
Well, I called my friend and we went up to the Beacon Hill in the Lickies, and we set it free, but then it chased us.
It liked you, like being back
I
where you
thought I
were.
loved it. I just
Now, Mike, you've done TV already. You've just recently. Tell us about the show you've just done.
Yeah, I played a part in Lenny Henry's semi-autobiographical film, Danny and the Human Zoo. I played Terry, one of his childhood friends.
And how was that?
Really fun, really good fun.
Did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, of course. It was amazing and a really good opportunity. So.
Yeah. And from that, are you hoping that something else will come from that?
Yeah, I hope so. And it's definitely kind of helped with the stand-up stuff because I've started to get more gigs and things off the back of that. And something to put on posters, isn't it, I suppose?
Yes. How about you, Lindsay? Would you like to, do something on the television? Because as a woman being in comedy, I wanted to ask you how that felt, because there aren't many female comedians, but there are getting more and more slowly coming through.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
I've never myself had any issues. I just think it can get a bit odd, especially like last night at Roughworks. We're all sat round a table, and I kind of looked around and I went, "Oh my God, there's only 2 girls here. Isn't that scary?" But it is quite a scary thing to do. But I think a lot of women are brave, and I think that. It's good fun.
I prefer female comedians. Isn't it funny?
Did you?
Yeah, I like them.
What a liar you are.
Did you always want to be a comedian?
It's something I've always wanted to do. I did try and get into it when I was about I think I was about 18, but I don't think I was really worldly ready at that point. I thought all I had to do was drink a bottle of wine and get on a stage and shout at people. It turns out there's a bit more to it than that. Although you do it quite well.
I do. Just a couple of baby sham.
And when you're performing, obviously because you work off each other, that's quite obvious here. And is that how it is when people are going to see you at the festival?
Well, we're doing a show with Danny.
Yes, unfortunately Danny couldn't be here today.
Danny's the sensible one.
So say hello to Danny.
Danny is the sensible one, yeah. He's like kind of grounds us, doesn't he? Because we're a bit mad.
Yeah, he's been sending us messages all morning going, please behave.
Yeah, don't swear.
Don't swear.
Don't tell any stories.
So tell us about the act then. What are you going to be doing with Danny?
With Danny? At the show or after the show?
With Danny at the show. You can tell us about what you're doing after the show if you like. But I'd quite like to hear what you're going to be doing at the show first.
Oh, I'll tell you off camera. I'll tell you. We're doing 20 minutes each, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got an hour show.
Brilliant.
So we're basically doing each our own little bit, and then I think we're trying to get another comedian involved, but we haven't had that.
Is that to MC to
confirmed
compare?
yet. Yeah.
Because it'd be better if it's warmed up.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation afterwards. Just to sort it out. Yeah, so there's us three basically doing our own little sets, and then at the end we're going to have a little surprise.
Got a little poster. Can I show you?
Yes, show us your
How do I get this
poster.
out?
Just pull it off, love. It's only a bit.
I know, I'm not used to pulling things off. There we go. Done it. This is the poster.
A lovely afternoon with Lindsay, Danny and Michael.
Hold the other
You don't look very smiley in that poster.
No, because I'm wearing a pinny.
That's mine, that is.
That is so not my colour.
I didn't iron it, can you see? Can you zoom in on the fact it's not ironed? That's
and you're looking at
terrible.
me like I've just, like...
And this is Danny who can't be with us.
Yes.
You can tell
his mum won't let him out because he stayed out late last night and his mum's upset with him, so he can't go out anymore for the week.
He's on tag and he's not allowed out past Merry Hill, did you say?
No, that's what we're not allowed to say, he's on tag.
Okay.
So tell us about, what's that set?
Can we let go?
You can let go of that now. Unless you want to hold it, Mike, that's fine.
I'm all right, thanks.
You can do that. So you're going to be doing 20 minutes each to form the hour.
Yes. Yeah.
To the audience,
Yes.
live audience.
And we will have biscuits as well.
Well, quite right. That's it. And when you perform in front of an audience, Cindy, how does it feel?
It's quite terrifying. I think I've got better at it recently, but I still get horrendous nerves.
Do you?
But as soon as I step on the stage, it goes. But I'm awful.
A lot of artists have that. Singing artists, acts. They're actually, some of them are actually physically sick before they actually go onto the stage. But it's the adrenaline which keeps you going, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I normally pace around like I'm insane. Especially the last 30 seconds, especially when you've got the compere and they're trying to warm up the audience for you. I kind of lose my mind a little bit. That bit goes blank. But like I said, once I'm there, I'm all right.
It's hard because if if it's tough and it's tough, then the nerves kind of reach higher levels and it's horrible. I heave sometimes. I get so nervous.
Really?
And then once you're on, you're fine. And
then
afterwards, there's high like.
I think do you think it's the same for all comedians? Because you have to go on and you make people laugh. You have to make people laugh, and if you don't, then you can't just come off. You've got to continue trying to make people laugh.
I think.
Do you think about that, or do you just go on and say, do you know what, I'm just going to go for it?
Well, you've got in your head exactly what you want to say. I mean, you have to make it look like you're saying it off the top of your head, don't you? You have to make it look like it's all new. You've never said it before, and it's all brand new stuff. But obviously you've got it set out. So if someone says to you, you've got to do 10 minutes of material, you know exactly how long you've got to do and you'll go up and do it. So it's always like if you get halfway through a set, you're like, God, this is going awful. You just think, 5 more minutes, I know what I've got to say, and we can go. Sometimes you can be in an audience and you can go, oh.
You can misjudge it, can't you?
Yeah, you can go, this is going to be horrible. Yeah. And then you'll get on stage and have the best gig of your life.
I think that when you think it's going to be really, really bad, that's when it's usually quite a nice gig.
Really, really good.
But it's when you're really ready and you're like, oh, I'm not too nervous, that's when it's really awful.
I think the nerves get less the more I've done it, but I'm still horribly, horribly nervous.
Depends if I haven't gigged for ages, I have that same, like, when you first start, and it's like...
I can normally eat 20 chicken nuggets, but I can only eat 4 before a gig. Oh no, I'm settled, man. I try.
So for you, Mike, is it the same? Do you get nervous, but you just, adrenaline kicks in and you just go on the stage and do what you've got to do?
I think nerves are good. I think they're integral to having a good gig, really. I think if you're not nervous, there's something wrong. Because to stand up in front of like a group of strangers and say, "Oh, I'm going to make you laugh," is a pretty brave thing, I think.
What's the largest audience you've had? Do you know?
Stand up.
As a stand up.
About 250 people.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I always think, you know, comedians are very brave. You're very brave because you go out and you've just got to... Yeah.
I think we're right in the head, aren't we?
Yes.
I've not met anyone who is normal, actually.
In stand-up?
Generally
like,
not.
It's in Birmingham, really.
I was thinking about this. Do you know anyone normal?
No, and I don't want to either.
Well, can you think of anyone that's normal?
In life?
Yeah? No?
No. Are they all mad, all your friends?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Or
course.
is that a good thing?
Yeah. When I'm not visiting them in hospital, like, you know what I mean? Feeding them medication when they're upset.
But do you, when you write your material, do you think about your friends and your family? Do you base it on real sort of people in your life, or is it just incidents that happen when it comes to your script?
Most of my set is based on, at the moment, it's based on my dad. My dad's quite a man's man, and I'm obviously really into my drama and stuff. And my set is basically just about how he kind of tried, as a kid, tried to make me toughen up and took me to boxing and stuff. And it's all about that kind of thing, really. So.
It worked, did it?
No, he didn't.
And is he supportive of what you do?
Oh, he loves it, yeah. He actually, when I started, he was like, I don't know why you're doing this, you crap. But then he was like, I think you crap, you ain't funny. But then he saw that I was starting to get better and my material was about him, so he started to kind of give me material then.
Oh, that's nice. What do you mean, like, what do you
Just abusing. Being abusive. Oi, Puff, come here.
Well, that's good. That bit out now.
Can you not say that on the telly?
No, it's bad,
Yeah, but
isn't
no,
it?
but it's a quote. It's not real. I'm not saying it.
That's what your dad said.
That's what my dad said to say.
That's like when someone goes, I'm not being racist, but. That's one of them is. You are.
And do you find that you've got to talk about topical subjects? As comedians often go very near the edge, don't they, of many subjects. Do you find that's quite important to your, you know, to your role as a comedian?
I think because I'm a lady, so I pretend to be a lady. My comedy is quite not rude, but like I go a bit like off. I'm a bit well.
Well, you're supposed to. You're seen as like because you go on stage and you're all.
I got my
nice
little
in your
pretty dress on and I go,
and then you some filth.
And yeah, filth, not filth. Like you know, I'd say it to my mother, but I wouldn't say it to my nan. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
That kind of
yeah.
level. So I think that's kind of a bit.
People don't expect it, I guess.
Yeah,
At first.
yeah. That's my kind of. But I try to stay away from like political things, not because like I don't want to be educated. I don't understand the world, and I say something wrong, and then suddenly I'm in prison again.
So when you're sort of out there really engaging with the audience, do you get heckled? Have you ever been heckled?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I
do you
love
like
it.
that?
Yeah, well, then I camp it right up and then
Do you?
love it. Yeah.
What's the worst heckle you've ever had? Can you remember?
Someone once shouted face at me, just the word face, and I never found out who it was, and I didn't know what to come back with. Just went, yes.
Thank you. I have one. Well done.
And legs and arms. Ooh. Yeah.
How about you, Mike? Do you think of anything that happened?
Yeah, oh, loads. Too many. The rude ones that I couldn't. I had a
say here on Cuppa TV.
No.
No.
I think a landlord of a pub once heckled me, or something.
Was that time?
And then no, it wasn't. No. I can't remember what he said.
How does it make you feel? Do you know,
When
'cause some
people
people would react to it, or do you think, right, do you see it as a challenge when you're heckled?
I think because if you're in the moment, somebody heckles and you're having a nice gig, usually the audience are against them. And if they're being funny, then you just go with it. Because some people heckle and they're not being nasty, they're just trying to add.
Yes.
And I think you can't just slam them down.
No.
That's the thing.
It's just
Yes.
if you're in the middle of a story, you've got your flow going, and then somebody say like last night someone just got up and went to the toilet in the middle of this, and it was quite it's a low stage, isn't it? So that someone just stood up and it was like right on the front row. It's like, what? You've just ruined the joke. Off you go.
There's comedians I can think of that actually then give them a hard time because they're going to the toilet, and when they come back as
But
cool.
it's almost like they've never been to comedy gigs before. I think if you can heckle well, I'd never like hecklers, but like if you can do something that comes out and goes, that's funny, fair enough. I like that. And if you've got a good comeback to it, it's when you're in the middle of like trying to tell a
Someone's being
story,
rude or something.
and you just kind of go, oh, again, yeah.
Because they've interrupted you.
Yeah.
Yes. So are you getting your material ready in preparation for the festival?
I mainly just shout it at my husband. That's how I prepare.
I shouted at Jess, my best friend.
Do you?
Basically, yeah.
That's how comedians, we just shout at people.
Do you shout
Do you ever just think of a new joke and you think it's really good and you
Yeah.
try and
If
tell
I'm on
them
the
and then just zone out?
I'm on the
It's not
47
interesting.
bus just shouting at the driver. It's like, that'd be a day
No,
saver.
thanks.
And then he came in and said, why do I turn into a
Do you know the
Londoner?
Lickies? Yeah, I took a rat to the Lickies once. What do you think about that? £2, £50.
I might get a lead for one.
Well, listen, we've got to take a break now, but stay here, stay with us,
For the
and
best.
join
I
us.
think so, because I need a win.
Yeah, we'll have a cup of tea and we'll come back in a minute. So stay with us and we're going to come back in just a minute. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. I'm now joined by Carol and Evan Grant from the Cameron Grant Memorial Trust, supporting mental health with young people. Thank you so much for coming, Carol and Evan. Thank you for joining us. Carol, you've already been on Cuppa TV, of course, so it's lovely to see you back here.
You.
And the reason we've got you back here is because we were talking about mental health. We've just had John on earlier on in the show, and it's now more than ever in the press, particularly with men, particularly in young men. And it was lovely for you to come on and talk about how your trust is going, what's actually happening. So Evan, I'm going to start with you because we haven't spoken before. So first of all, just tell us a little bit about Cameron, because for those who missed the show initially.
So Cameron was our son who died when he was 21, just 10 months ago today, and he was a lovely young kid. He appeared to be thriving. He was in his last year at university. He was an active participant in ultimate frisbee. He was a treasurer of the frisbee club. He loved the geology he was studying, and Carol and I had taken great delight in how he'd thrived at university, and we were completely surprised and stunned to hear that he'd taken his own life.
And how old was he when he took his life?
21. He'd
21.
just a month after his 21st birthday.
And I mean, there are no words to describe how you must have felt as parents, Carol.
Yeah.
And what made you decide to think about, right, we've got to give something back to make Cameron's death not such a thing that was just going to be forgotten? Is that why you decided to do the trust?
We didn't want to forget Cameron, and we wanted his name to live on. But also, the main thing I think was we didn't want any other parents going through what we've gone through as a family.
Would you agree with that, Evan?
Yeah, definitely. Cameron left us a letter, and he described the fact that he'd suffered with mental health problems for 7 years before he died, and we just didn't know, and we hope to raise awareness so that nobody else has to suffer in silence like Cameron does. We don't know why he didn't ask for help, but obviously we wish he had.
I was going to ask you that question. Do you have any reason or feelings as to why he kept it all to himself?
I think he's always been a very proud boy, quite quiet. So I think he just didn't want to burden anyone. We've learnt since that it's quite well known that boys just don't talk about their problems.
Well, statistics have shown,
Yeah.
that it's increasing with young men, but men in general, because they don't talk. How did you feel as a father, Evan, when you that Cameron had taken his life?
I felt then, and I feel now, it's like blank amazement that he did it, but above all that we didn't know, because apart from not knowing, it's just there was no sign at all. He seemed to be doing so well. He seemed happy. As we've just talked about, we'd recently celebrated his 21st birthday. We'd been with him to St James's Palace when he got his DAB Gold Award, and he really did love the subject he was studying, and he wanted to do a master's, and it was we were completely blindsided, and it still remains blank astonishment. I mean, some people have asked if about any sense of guilt, and there isn't really. It's just because there was the absence of there was no clue.
Yeah, I keep looking back, and there was just nothing.
Yes, trying to sort of piece through things.
Just
perhaps
thinking
did he
maybe
say something, or
maybe I'd missed something, but I can't think of anything. And I've been asking his friends, and no one. He was out partying and still doing his ultimate frisbee training the week he died, and still going to lectures. So
So it's just tragically sad and just a waste and a loss.
Did you feel angry? Did you have any experience of anger yourselves as parents?
Lots of people have asked that, but I personally haven't. I just feel incredibly sad. But I'm not angry, no.
And when people ask you, how do you feel? How are you feeling today? How do you react to that?
React to it with difficulty, and in the end just conventionally answer and say yes, I'm fine and so forth. But I'm not fine, and it's really difficult. But it's if you actually answer the question and sort of get into deep and sad feelings, it doesn't really help day-to-day life and getting on at work and socially. So you tend to just say fine and go on, and I know Carol does, and I talk privately to friends, but it's tough being asked how are you, because the inner answer isn't the one that you want to give.
It's a question that everybody asks, isn't it? But it's really, it shouldn't be a question that everyone asks, but we're all guilty of that, I think.
I have found a way through it, which is I answer how I feel today. And so people ask how are you today, somehow it's an acknowledgement that there are ups and downs, and it's not...
because you do have incredible ups and downs.
Yes. And for you, Carol, if someone was to ask you the same question, how would you respond to that?
Well, I just say I'm fine, but but I'm not really, because it just doesn't go away, and it never will.
And when you were, when you first discovered that Cameron took his life, when you got through the traumatic events after that, and you decided, you wanted to set up this memorial trust. Was that the thing really that gave you the, if you like, the will to make sure that he didn't die in vain, and there's something there for other people to look at and to find and to come to you for help and advice?
I think yes. I mean, it definitely kept us going, and it gave us a purpose to work towards. But I mean, sometimes it has been a bit overwhelming, hasn't it? I mean, all the support we've got.
It's always in your face, of course, as well as helping people. For you, it must be quite difficult.
And it's quite emotional talking about it, because we were talking about it from just weeks after he died, so we did it incredibly early.
And has it made you closer as a family? Because you have another son who's now at university. Has it made you closer as a family? We have struggled, I think, but I think we've always been a close family, so yes, I think so.
And we take strength from the fact that our younger son Alistair is now at university in Sweden. He just started an undergraduate physics degree there.
Wonderful.
We went out with him on the 18th of August, and he's just starting his third week of lectures now.
Wonderful.
So I think it's great to see him moving on to that next stage in his life, and he's meeting people from all over the world, and from what we can learn on WhatsApp, he's having a pretty good time.
Thank goodness for social media for parents. That's right. And I mean, because it affects the whole family, though, doesn't it? It affects all of the family unit, and the closer you are, and you're obviously a close family, it would have affected you, even deeper than perhaps somebody who didn't see their family or their mother and father quite so much. So tell us about the Memorial Trust then, and what's actually happening with it. Over to you, Evan.
Thank you, Monica. Yeah. So our ambition is to raise awareness about mental health issues, particularly in young people, and to encourage those that are suffering in silence to speak up, unlike Cameron, who kept it all to himself. We essentially have a launch event on the 2nd of October, where we have a night walk that starts and finishes in Hampton and Arden, the village where we live.
Yes. And
it's going to be just under 5 miles on footpaths mainly, round to the next village, Barston. And we've chosen a night walk because there's symbolism in it being a walk in the dark, and it's also because Cameron loved it. He took part actively in Cubs and Scouts and in an adventure group, and we know he loved his night walks. So that is our initial activity, and with that we're launching a community project in our village, and this comes with the support of the Aviva Community Fund. We were lucky enough to win a grant from them in the summer, and we're going to train community leaders in mental health first aid and in suicide awareness. and together with that community set up as many ways as we can find of communicating with the young community in the village, so that there are safe, secure, private ways for people to find out information and ask for help.
Because I mean, you know, with the information, you were just talking about that, is there enough information out there, Carol, do you think?
No, I don't think there is, no. What we're hoping to do is print little credit cards with helpline numbers on, and also we're thinking about beer mats in pubs and sports clubs.
Yes.
As, you know, if anyone is feeling down, they know
that
who
there's
to
help
ring.
out there.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the NHS are so swamped by, you know, youngsters asking for help, but in some cases perhaps they don't need to go to the NHS. But
They
these
just want somebody
helpline
who
numbers,
perhaps understands the
listen.
situation and can listen.
Yeah.
And would that be your aim, Evan, perhaps for the future, for the Trust, to have, you know, workers who people could call or blog, or, you know, to contact you for help and advice?
Well, I think our immediate aim, Monica, is that this project we're doing in our village is something we learn from that project, so it can work in other communities.
Grow,
And we'd like to take that project and run it in multiple communities. And we start at home because it's where Cameron grew up. But our ambition is to make this as widely available as possible. And we expect to use other people to do the training. And so, for example, our suicide awareness training will be done by Papyrus UK, and Papyrus's goal is to reduce young suicide, and they've been very helpful to us in many ways since Cameron died, and they'll do the suicide awareness training for us. And they have a helpline particularly geared at young people. So I think our awareness activities will be making people aware of things like Papyrus and Samaritans and Mind, rather than setting up our own direct help. And who knows where it may go, but we would like to just make sure, well, we didn't know about Papyrus before.
No.
So one of the things we'd like to make...
So it's a learning,
learning
curve, isn't
just
it, really?
to give the kids, you know, just more numbers or more help.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not experts, so I wouldn't like to set something up, you know, that's too...
But
I think we need to spread it out
so, and
to
that
the
is really
experts,
important, isn't it, for people who might be going through the same, you know, problem. And why do you think it affects men? Have you got any issues on, you know, thoughts on that yourself? Do you think some young men, we've just had recent reports about young men and why it's affecting young men. Have you got any thoughts on that as a parent?
I think it's just because boys don't talk. If girls will talk to each other and express themselves more. I think boys, it's not a macho thing to say you're not feeling well, or so they just tend to keep it to themselves, and I think it just gets worse and worse.
What would you say on that, Evan?
I agree with Carol.
So we're just going to take a quick break now, but stay with us and come back and see us in just a minute. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. Now we welcome an indie pop duo that are rocking the music scene with their melodic tunes. It's James and Antonio from Off Colour. Guys, thank you for coming on Cuppa TV.
Thanks for having
Lovely
us.
to see you. So it's James and Antonio.
Correct.
Antonio, that's got to be a little bit of Italian in there.
Yeah,
Definitely. We'll talk about that a bit later.
Some people say Spanish, don't they? They assume
I
Spanish.
get
Oh, do you?
sorts, yeah.
Oh no, I guessed it was Italian. So, guys, Off Colour. You know, you're an amazing band. You've just been working with so many really good people. You've just released your single, but where did it all start for you?
School, really, wasn't it? Yeah, we went to school together.
Yeah.
And well, we didn't actually like each other.
That's the funny story. Yeah, we didn't actually.
That's a very
like each
honest thing
other.
to say.
No, I
isn't it?
hated him.
Did you?
I'm just going to put it out
Let's
there.
let's
We're
just
at
go
two
for
different
it.
ends of the
This is your therapy session here on Cuppa TV.
Yeah.
So for this morning,
Yeah.
I feel like I should be lying down. Just sort of.
Right, so you didn't like each other.
No,
then
we were
what
sort of,
happened?
like you said, we were two sort of separate ends of the you know, the generic school clicky sort of spectrum, as it were. I was sort of into my classic rock, had like shoulder length hair.
Yes.
And he was into his like straight up gangster rap.
So with all the cool kids.
So sort of, it was quite strange really. Like I was introduced to one of his friends through his friendship group, and then we went to a party together, and then we stayed at my house, like all of the boys, and then I had a guitar. He was like, "Oh, do you play?" kind of thing, and picked up the guitar, played a song, and then he started singing, and then the rest is history. Sort of couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
And then how many years ago was that?
That's about 5
years
years
ago.
Yeah, probably nearer 6 actually now.
And what did you think? Did you think initially, oh, actually, I could really, you know,
Well,
this could be really good with this guy.
We did a cover pretty early, didn't we? Did a cover on YouTube.
Did you?
It's really weird, yeah, how everything happened. Because I just saw the guitar and I wasn't interested in singing as such. I just liked singing. And I saw the guitar and I was like, already in my head, I was like, do you know how to play Usher? Oh my God, do you remember the song?
Yes.
Yeah. And he was like, no, not really. And I was like, can you learn it? And he was like, yeah. And he literally just learned it straight away. And I was thinking, wow, he's well good. And I thought, maybe we could do a video.
Yeah.
But it was more me do the video with him, sort of. Because if you check the videos from when we first started, James just plays the guitar, so he doesn't actually sing. And then, like, the relationship sort of developed naturally, and he just sort of, and now we both.
And now you both sing.
Yeah.
Now we both
Yes,
sing. Yeah,
fantastic. So, I mean, first of all, Off Colour, where did you get your band name from?
Oh, it's an awful. It's
Is it a
one
story?
of these. No, well, it's not
even.
It's so much not a story that it's become a story.
Okay.
Because that
Come on
we
then.
basically for way too long we were Antonio Amoroso and James Smith. That was the band name. It was just our names, and we couldn't think of any way to
The longest.
try and be smart to make it into one. So we just thought, you know, we've just got to come up with a name. One day he just sort of texted me and said, look, you need to make up a name.
I actually rang you because my mum
that was it.
was
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I just got back from school and I was locked out of my house. So I was waiting for my mum, and I was just thinking, as you do. And I was thinking, I'm not happy with Antonio Amoroso and everyone keeps saying, like, what's your name? Like, you can't just... So I rang him up and I said, well, I think we need to sort this out now, while I had some time on the drive sitting there.
So, and that was it? So
That was it. I
came up.
literally just 2 words that came into my head.
Off Colour.
Off colour.
Because I was
That's
saying
a
to him,
great
if you
name.
listen, like Coldplay and all these other, you know, like they don't actually make sense. Like, as long as you just keep plugging the name.
I was going to ask you that because I was thinking exactly the same when I heard your name. You know, it's it's just
it's
two
just
words
two-
that just can come together.
I mean, I'd love there to be a real good story.
Oh, it'd be
behind it.
amazing.
That's okay.
I might have to, you might have to help us
At
make
least
one
you're
up.
honest.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe you can make one up after the show. That's
Maybe,
it.
yeah, maybe.
So you started. Then what happened? Did you start in earnest then? Actually, you know, getting
Yeah,
together.
well,
How did it work?
We, like I said, we just did the first cover and posted it on YouTube. Sort of just thought we'd just do it for a bit of a laugh, kind of thing. And we got I think it was over 1,000 views in sort of 24 hours, which at that time was quite good.
Yes.
Like for like 2 guys in their bedroom on their
Funny,
sister's
yeah,
laptop.
because we put it online, and then it was all of our school like classmates, and they were like, when could you two sing? When could you play the guitar? When?
Yeah.
And it was just
because
like
we didn't do
almost-
music or anything at school.
Everyone
we
was
weren't
just
Really?
amazed. It was like, oh my God,
So it's
this
quite a
is...
shock. They were
Yeah,
really
so
new.
everyone was just sharing it, and then it was just really funny within that, like, sort of 5 or 6 hours that you're at home, you woke up, went to school, and everyone was just like, oh, that was amazing, that was so good. When's the next one? You're doing another one? And it was just like people that you wouldn't have, like, you know, you can't speak to everyone in your years, sort of thing, and there's people coming up to you saying, like, that you'd never really spoken to before, and they're like, oh, I really loved that. And it was just...
Fantastic. And what was the first one? Can you remember what the first one
Yeah,
was?
it was
Usher, Oh My God.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was-
God.
Which is still on YouTube now. We look
Yes.
awful, and it's on a little laptop. It's my sister's laptop that had a webcam. And
But
it's,
it doesn't
you know,
matter. It was your first project. So
And then we just sort of started doing sort of weekly, then bi-weekly, then monthly, and eventually it just got to a point where we were sort of doing them regularly, and we had like a bit of a following. People on Twitter was like, oh, when's the next
because you
one?
have,
So
you've got a following now. and fans. How did you create your fan base?
it was just, I think it was just from doing the covers. We started sort of, there used to be a thing that, I don't know, I think they still exist, but people don't really do it anymore, called TwitCam. And it's basically where you go on Twitter, and it's like a separate website, and what you do is you just broadcast live. It's almost like being on telly.
it's like
but
streaming.
you like
just-
stream it live, and then people go on, and when they write comments, it does it as a tweet.
Oh right.
And then so
Yeah.
people are, and it posts the link as well. So people are constantly posting the link without necessarily meaning to or knowing
Right.
they're doing it. So then people are just clicking on it, and then you can see how many people are watching. So, and we should just sort of go on there and just say like, we'll just play songs like what do you want us to play, and we just play anything.
So it was covers initially, wasn't
covers,
it?
yeah. We. Just
What was your
basically-
favourite cover? Have you done a favourite?
I think
Would it
probably
have been Usher, the first one you did?
definitely not.
No.
No.
I think one of my favourite ones. We did a mashup of a Ben Howard song called Everything.
Oh yeah, I love that
with a Frank Ocean song called Swim Good, and we sort of blended them together, and I really personally that's probably one of my
That's
favourites.
one of your favourites.
I think the most popular one is we did a mashup of You Need Me by Ed Sheeran and Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa, which sort of
It's
worked
got
quite
like,
well.
That
over
worked,
50,000 views, yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's
They're all still online, which is
Yes.
quite cool because you
Yes.
can just sort of see the
You're
progression.
almost tracking your progress,
Yeah.
aren't you, when you post
Yeah,
things on
yeah.
YouTube? It's, and for you as well as bands, you know, you can track what you're doing. So when did the singing, you know, the songwriting come about, you know, as well as the singing?
Well,
When
I
did you start?
I think it was probably towards the back end of our school years when we sort of I think we made the conscious decision that we were going to try and
Give it
pursue
a
a
go.
career in music while you're still young and you've got opportunities at your feet. So we thought we might as well give it a go. And at that point, it was sort of a case of you need to start doing our own stuff because people are sort of asking questions,
Plus
and
we
as
didn't
much
want to
as
come under that sort of
you don't
cover.
you
tribute
sort of typecast yourself as a cover band.
So do you both write? Write?
We do, yeah. We've also got a team of sort of writers and producers who are based in London that we sometimes get together
Pull
with
together.
if we really want to try
have a
and do
big
something
old
special.
jam
But
session, and
we're always sort of, meeting up and just trying. It normally comes from the guitar. That's where it normally starts. I
Yes.
just normally start playing stuff and then we start singing. But
So you've got your new single, Touchdown, which
Yeah.
you're going to play for us today.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about that before you play it. How did that come about?
that was quite a funny one. We were working with Mikey and Mo, who are part of SOS. That's their sort of name, and they produced Wretch 3-2's 6 Words as well. As you can hear, there's a sort of similar sound there. We were in the studio with them, and they're great guys. Like they're so just amazing to be around. Like they've got this aura sort of thing. And we were in there for a few hours, and we were trying out different sort of sounds and and we were getting halfway through a song, and then we were just thinking, I don't know about it. And then nobody, there wasn't that one sound that we were thinking, yeah, this sounds good, until eventually, after about 5 or 6 takes, we come up with Touchdown, and it started again like with a guitar, and then there was this drum and bass element, and then everyone started going, yeah, I think we found it. So then I think that was a really late session. I think it started in the morning, and we didn't get out till...
I lost my car keys as well.
Yeah, it's just we were in there so long that he managed to lose his car keys, sort of thing.
I had to leave my car in London for like a week.
Oh no.
It's a nightmare.
One of those. But a good song came out of it.
Good
though.
song
Yeah.
out of it as well.
So are you going to play us that today? You're going to sing that today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we've
going
got
to do that.
a stripped back acoustic version.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a listen then. So this is Touchdown by Off Colour.
Yeah.
Okay?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Okay, still rolling then. Oh,
Okay.
Let me put some bars on the screen and we'll come back on your camera.
Okay, Dunham.
Okay, start the clock again when she starts talking.
Okay, so do you want to do those? Do you want to do it now or do you want to do them after?
No, we do the...
Oh, do
the
after.
bit.
Fine. Okay, Dunham.
So whenever you're ready.
Okay. So I've got to pretend I've heard it now.
Yes.
Pretend
That's
you
so
look good.
amazing.
Look a bit flustered.
yeah,
like.
yeah. You've got to look like you've just moved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. That's it. Yeah, actually, that's true because you would have. How would you position yourself if you were playing the
I would
guitar?
have been probably.
Okay.
Sorry, we don't see that. That's the point.
No, but just for effect, really.
Just
So
for
when
the.
we
You know,
come
just
back
for when we come, because when we
and
come
then
back
relax back in.
and relax back into it. See, we've got the same thinking
we're there.
going on here. Right, that's it. You've moved position. Okay.
Okay, still recording.
That was great, guys. That was such a melodic tune. That's
Thank
Thank
it's such
you.
a powerful tune and so simple as well.
Mm.
Did you, when you wrote that, were you aware of just the simplicity of it, really, just with the lyrics?
Yeah, I think it's like a 50-50 when you're writing songs. You have to sort of try and make it come from a place inside you, but you've also got to make it catchy, and you've got to try and keep it simple.
Appeal to.
And try and
And it
appeal
is
to
very
people.
catchy. Isn't
Well, that's
it?
what
So
we tried to do.
you wanted to
but-
do that. Yeah.
That's not well. I
No.
guess if you say
It
it is.
That song again.
We've heard it
goes
so many
back to-
times.
Yes.
It's-
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're singer-songwriters, do you listen to, and of course you're young. You're just really starting out on your journey. So when you're playing your songs over and over again, do you just almost lose the song, so to speak? Do you forget what it is?
I think you do and you don't. I think there's.
Yeah, I think you lose it and then you get it back, and
You
then
find
there's
it,
certain
yeah.
things that happen, like like somebody might, like for example yourself, you say like it's just amazing, and then you think when you play it again, you think it is,
sounds quite good,
yeah,
yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
sort of
that's
thing.
right.
I think it's almost an ability you sort of have to have as a writer to be able to hear yourself, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? You have to
Yes.
be able to hear it from someone else's ears
Yeah.
and sort of try and put yourself in their feet.
I think that's the hardest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're writing, do you always write together? I mean, I know you've got your team, but do
Yeah,
you
it's-
come up with an idea and then you go to Antonia, or
It's weird.
how does it work?
I'll probably come up with a little melody, and then he'll come up with one, and then I normally put the first few words in, and then we come up with a concept, and then it's
Yeah.
sort of.
He's more of like the wordsmith, and I'm more of the sort of wacky guy in the background saying, maybe we should.
He just does these concepts that just come out of
this
nowhere.
makes sense, and then he's going, yeah, but I didn't mean that. I was like, yeah, but it could mean that, and he's going, yeah. I'm like, so what's a good word for this and a good word?
And do you like to make your sound unique, Antonio? With that bearing in mind, you like to get that sort of wacky.
Yeah, I think we like to use our influences a lot, and make that come out into our music, because we've got such a wide range of influences.
I was going to say, who are your influences?
Well, I mean, it's one of these. It's another one of these questions where there's so many possible answers. I mean, my family have always been really big on music. Not musicians or anything, but growing up, there's always music playing in the house.
There's always music in the house.
You know, all sorts of stuff. Stevie Wonder, Prince, Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of my mum's favourite bands, which I grew up listening to as well. So there's so many different sort of things that I draw inspiration from without even meaning to. I think it's probably the same with you as well.
How about you, Antonio? What?
Yeah, just like James says, because my dad's a DJ as well, so I've always been in the sort of, but I'd say like he's got the more sort of rock, guitar, folk sort of acoustic vibes, sort of like that he's influenced in, and then I've got the more sort of urban / pop, like, and he'll show me songs sometimes, and he'll be like, to be honest, I didn't really know about John Mayer, and I know people will be like, oh my God, how do you not know about? But then he introduced me, and I was like, oh my God.
But that's what it's all about, though. When you're a duo, you introduce each other to, to different. I mean, both got different individual personalities. So why wouldn't you have different sort of genres of music that you both like, really?
Exactly. Yeah.
And how do you see your future, James? What's going to happen with Off Colour?
Oh, that's the big question. I mean, I think we both hope. The ultimate dream would obviously to be, a worldwide musician, as it were. But I think, personally, I'd love to just be able to make money from it, like, real money, and be able to just make a living from it. Like, that's what I'd like to do. Because I've always been one of these sort of people who would rather do what they love and be not as rich as someone who does what they hate. Yeah. And... Do you know what I mean? One of those.
No. And for you, Antonio, it's the same?
Yeah, it's just basically the sort of same thing. I just think I'd like our music as well to be like what it does, with Touchdown when it's come out, for people to really appreciate, because I think as well people don't realise how much work actually goes into it. Like they think that it's just, and to when you see people really appreciate, the body of work that you've put out, and you think, it makes everything all worth it, because you do so many hours and you think about so much, and then when people you just put it out and they're like, that sounds amazing, you're like, oh, thank God.
Well, to play us out the show, you're going to do another song. So what's the other song you're going to play today?
Which
I think we're going to treat you guys with a exclusive cover.
Oh, yes, that's fine. Yes.
It's of Drake's latest release, Hotline Bling.
Okay.
And we've put our own spin on it. So if you know the original.
Excellent.
It's very, very different.
Well, guys, it's been so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on to Cuppa TV.
Thank you very much.
And let me know how you're getting on. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's it for today's show. I'd like to thank all my guests, John, Carol and Evan, and of course the band Off Colour, for joining me today. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at Big Centre TV. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and come back and see me very soon. Bye-bye.
You're not gonna make it, can't breathe, helpless without me. You're not gonna make it, you're floating so high. No one's gonna save you, you're floating so high. Let me come and save you. I'm here to pull you down, and when you touch the ground, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Ooh, love you till you love you. Ooh, love you till you love you. Ooh. Love you till you love you. Ooh, I'ma love you till you love you. I won't let you give in to it. You've come so far for you to turn back. I'm holding on so tight, no one's gonna do you right. I'm holding on tight, I don't wanna see you fly.
I'm here to pull you down. When you touch the ground, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Ooh, love you till you love you. Ooh, love you till you love you. Ooh, love you till you love you. Ooh, I'ma love you till you love you.
I know when that hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing.
'Cause ever since I left the city, you got a reputation for yourself now. Everyone else knows and I feel left out. Girl, you got me down, you got me stressed out. 'Cause ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out more. Glasses of champagne out on the dance floor, hanging with some girls I never seen before.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love. I know when my hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing. I know when my hotline blinks, that can only mean one thing.